Welcome back to another video from Anime Culture Talk. Let's dive into the possibly greatest question of what if when it comes to Demon Slayer. Did you know that if Nezuko has become the strongest Hashira, the Demon Slayer series will end in 12 episodes? Although the Demon Slayer is an amazing story, fans can't help but wonder what would happen if Nezuko became the Demon Slayer and not Tanjiro. Will Nezuko be the strongest Demon Slayer in one of the most popular anime series in history? On the other hand, what would happen if Tanjiro turned into a demon, and how would it affect the turn of events in the story? Just imagining the idea makes me feel that the story would result in some wild roller coaster twists and turns for the infamous Kamado siblings. Will they ever achieve the same heights as in the original story, if these were to occur, or will they eventually sink into abysmal despair when one of them passes away? Well, we're here now to find out the answer to this biggest what if in the Demon Slayer series. Let's start this analysis with the night before it all went dark. Assuming that Tanjiro inherits his father's frail body, and for them to make ends meet, Nezuko has to sell their charcoal down the mountain. The next morning, Nezuko returns home only to find her family massacred by the greatest menace in the series, the one and only Hihi, Michael Jackson. Muzen Kibutsuji. When everything seems hopeless, Nezuko finds her loving Oni-chan alive. However, he turned into a flesh-eating flesh-craving demon who is craving for Nezuko's young and juicy meat. As soon as Nezuko tries to approach Tanjiro, he'll overpower her, and Tanjiro will devour her. The end. Just kidding. Of course, if that was the storyline, that would be very disappointing, right? Nonetheless, that's actually the most realistic outcome, as Nezuko's chances of overpowering Tanjiro as a demon are as low as your chances to get noticed by your crush. However, since I am your weeb master, who loves satisfying your wild imaginations, we will dive deeper into this possibility. Let's say that instead of Gyu, Mitsuri is the one who arrived a bit early this time to save Nezuko from Tanjiro, all the while muzzling the poor Tanjiro, just like in the original story. Nezuko, using her wits and the strong forehead she inherited from her mother, tries to outmaneuver Mitsuri, and her dedication towards saving her sibling strikes a chord in Mitsuri's conscience. Along the way, Mitsuri crosses paths with the former water Hashira Urokudaki. Mitsuri then explains everything to him, and he expects Nezuko to be his student instead of Tanjiro. After completing her training with Urokudaki, Nezuko successfully learned the Demon Slayer breathing style is determined to prove her strength. That said, she encounters the same demon during the final selection. Sensing that his little sister is facing a great danger, Tanjiro hops in and uses his blood demon art, Infinite Thorns, to immobilize the monster. Then, Nezuko, with all her might, decapitates the monster and survives the final selection. Although everything seems to be going fine so far, Nezuko lacks his strong sense of smell that helped Tanjiro all throughout his journey. Luckily, Tanjiro is under Nezuko's full control, so Tanjiro still does what he does best. One night, Nezuko asks Tanjiro to shrink as a little boy, and with Tanjiro's enhanced sense of smell, the siblings run into Muzen, who will go about with his murderous way with his pretend family. Seeing that, Nezuko retreats, and so is Tanjiro. Nezuko will then receive her first Nichirin weapon, but instead of a sword, she receives a spear that is suitable for her fighting style. In a short backstory, Urokudaki will write a letter to Ubuyashiki about a new breathing style that can surpass even the sun breathing. Nezuko unlocks the eclipse breathing, which is made possible because of her ancestor's bloodline. Her father is from the bloodline of the sun-breathing user, while her mother is from the bloodline of the worshippers of the moon. As Nezuko continues to her next mission, the Suzumi Mansion arc, she'll encounter her new friends, Inosuke and Zenitsu. As usual, Zenitsu instantly falls in love with Nezuko's beauty and throws in a marriage proposal the very next second, while Inosuke also loves Nezuko, but he cannot admit it, so he always ends up teasing her. This will go smoothly, but problems will arise in their next mission, which is the Mount Nadagumo arc. While the siblings fight Rui, Nezuko will have a hard time fighting because of her unrefined eclipse breathing style. Luckily, Tanjiro's overpowered blood demon art will save Nezuko in the nick of time before Rui cuts all her limbs with his deadly web. Just as they thought Rui is dead, Nezuko will be stabbed by the body of Rui, revealing that his head was not completely removed, and it is still hanging by a thread. Tanjiro turns into his child form, because he is very exhausted because of his blood demon art. Rui is ready to deliver his finishing blow, while Tanjiro covers his little sister. In that very hopeless situation, Shinobu leaps in midair and stabs the head of Rui, while Giyu uses his water-breathing style to cut all the deadly webs. They then discover the Kamado siblings, and the two Hashira are ready to eliminate them. Upon seeing the muzzled demon and a female demon slayer, Giyu remembers what his master told him. Shinobu thought that Nezuko is Tanjiro's older sister, making her remember her older sister, too. The moment of silence will be break when a Kusugai crow, ordering them to bring the siblings to their HQ. It is then revealed that Mitsuri is the one who saved them, making Sanemi go mad at her. However, Obanai stops him before he can even unsheath his sword. Kagaya then tells them all to listen, and they all do. After offering his own blood to Tanjiro, the Hashiras are all shocked to see the demon turn his head out of disgust. Realizing that the siblings were special, Kagaya assigned Mitsuri and Obanai to take care of the siblings. Years have passed and Nezuko's spearmanship develops even further, with Mitsuri and Obanai's help. Moreover, Nezuko manages to develop a new breathing style called dragon breathing. After their training, the trio, along with Tanjiro, will board the Mugen train, which will change the outcome of the original story. This time, Nezuko, Inosuke, and Zenitsu will take down the Lower Moon One, Enmu. While Rengoku stalls Akaza till sunrise, he loses both of his eyes. Akaza almost escaped, but Nezuko tells Tanjiro not to let him escape. Tanjiro then activates his overpowered blood demon art, and Akaza wasn't able to escape his doom from the scorching sun. After the incident, Rengoku retires as a demon slayer, but continues his good relationship with the Corps. After recovering from their injuries from the previous battle, Tengen will recruit Nezuko to infiltrate the entertainment district, but Inosuke and Zenitsu will offer their services as well. Here, they will encounter the duo, Daki and Gyutaro, engaging in a death battle. Nezuko will awaken her demon slayer Mark and successfully use eclipse breathing, after which they'll be able to cut down Daki and Gyutaro's heads simultaneously, like in the original series. Tengen loses his arm just like in the original story, and he will resign from the Demon Slayer Corps to be with his 3 wives. Later on, they will all go back to HQ, where they will be informed about the Demon Slayer Mark. This Mark, however, will raise Nezuko's rank to a Hashira level, making her the youngest Hashira at the age of 13. That said, the Hashira will start training immediately to attain it, so the Hashira training arc will happen very soon. Here, Rengoku will help them with their proper breathing training, despite him being blind. His proper breathing mastery will help many normal demon slayers, like Murata, use their own breathing styles. Meanwhile, Muzan feels disappointed with Gyotaro's death, as he wasn't able to kill even one Hashira. Kagaya's foresight makes him see that Muzan will attack the Demon Slayer Corps soon. Thus, he asks Tokito, Mitsuri, and Nezuko to protect the blacksmiths in the swordsmith village. Hantengu and Gyoko slaughter most of the blacksmiths to halt their Nichirin blade production. In this arc, none of the Hashira will die, and Tokito manages to kill Gyoko after activating his own OP powers. On the other hand, Mitsuri's careless action almost killed her and allowed Hantengu to escape. Luckily, Nezuko is there to save her, leaving her brother scorched under the sun. Miraculously, Tanjiro conquers the sun, just as in the original story, and Muzan will know about it. After that, the Demon Slayer Corps continued their training. At daytime, Hashira train the Demon Slayer Corps, while at nighttime, they are fighting each other as a form of training. Meanwhile, Shinobu and Tamayo continue to find a cure for turning Tanjiro back to his human form. This allows Tamayo to copy the blood demon art of Tanjiro. Muzan, frustrated due to the years of hiding, would not hesitate to make an opening, which would result in the end of the Demon Slayer Corps once and for all. The Demon Slayer Corps, with their info, will locate Muzan's hideout, which was specifically posted to lure them in. All the Hashiras and their underlings will then slowly close onto a secluded village on a mountain where they suspected the hideout of Muzan to be. But in a very expected twist, they'll immediately get teleported to different areas of the Infinity Castle by Nakime. Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Kyo will be teleported to fight Akaza. After the calm season, a great storm is coming as Muzan decided to enter Kagaya's mansion himself. Just like in the original story, the mansion will explode and Muzan will be severely injured. Then, Tamayo, with his acquired demon blood art from Tanjiro, manages to deal damage to Muzan after injecting him with the medicine that can turn him back to a human being. However, Muzan will activate the Infinity Castle, which teleported all the Hashira and every single demon slayers inside it. Shinobu will battle Doma, but this time, Inosuke and Kanao quickly reaches her location. It was a dangerous battle, and just before all of them could be eaten by Doma, Nezuko appears and cuts off his head with her eclipse breathing. Suddenly, Shinobu leaps in midair and jumps over the severed head of Doma, stabbing it non-stop until she cries out the justice she desires. Tokido and Genya will battle Kokushibo, which will end instantly due to Kokushibo's OP Demon Slayer skills fused with his blood demon art. Seeing his brother's death, Sanemi along with Gyome fights against Kokushibo. With their awakened Demon Slayer mark and their combined effort, they successfully killed Kokushibo. Hantengu suddenly arrives in his strongest form and targets Shinobu. Luckily, Giyu arrives and saves the day. While Kanao, Shinobu, Giyu, and Nezuko fights Hantengu's clones, Inosuke uses his strong senses to locate the real body of Hantengu. Upon knowing the location of the real body, Inosuke will take one of the enemies in Nezuko's place. Nezuko will combine her dragon breathing and eclipse breathing to throw her spear and cut the head of Hantengu's real body, eliminating all the clones at the same time. As usual, Zenitsu will battle Kaigaku, and he will instantly kill him, not to disgrace the honor of their grandfather. Mitsuri and Obanai will take on Nakime, but they struggle real hard since Nakime's blood demon art is the Infinity Castle itself. Meanwhile, the remaining children of Kagaya successfully map out the Infinity Castle, allowing Yushiro to sneak in the location of Nakime unnoticed. Yushiro successfully takes control over Nakime's mind, and he uses her blood demon art to teleport all of them outside the Infinity Castle before cutting Nakime's head off and sealing the Infinity Castle forever. Yushiro's sacrifice made a great impact, for all of them now are surrounding Muzan, ready to give their lives for the final battle. Muzan then unleashes his deadly tentacles on his back, which go around in their unpredictable movements, killing several normal demon slayers. The Demon King proves that he is the strongest, and his deadly tentacles severely damages all of his enemies, even the Hashira. When the situation gets too painful to watch, Chachimaru appears in midair and drops 3 vials of medicine made by Tamayo. Gyome, Sanemi, and Obanai catches them, and they all proceed to penetrate them inside Muzan's body. All the remaining ordinary Demon Slayer corps use their bodies as shields to protect the 3 Hashira. They all successfully penetrated the medicine, but Muzan suddenly uses an exploding demon blood art. Shortly after, Muzan starts struggling, and his tentacles slows down from moving. One by one, the remaining Demon Slayers regain consciousness. They then start attacking Muzan from all directions, while casting their strongest sword-breathing styles. Despite experiencing severe weakness, Muzan still resists using his tentacles to block all their attacks. Muzan then uses all his might to make his tentacles run wild again. This would result in the death of Mitsuri and Obanai, as the tentacles successfully injects venom in their body. Unfortunately, the same fate goes to Gyome. Meanwhile, Shinobu was protected by Giyu, and just before the poison could take away his life, Shinobu injects him with the 1 vial of medicine that she created, along with Tamayo. At that moment, Sanemi and Nezuko are the only ones capable of fighting. Sanemi awakens a red blade and fights Muzan evenly. Suddenly, the sky went dark and the rain starts falling, causing dark clouds to fully cover the sun. Muzan celebrates as the odds seem to be in his favor. Muzan then regains his confidence and successfully penetrates all of his tentacles inside Sanemi's body, killing him in the process. Amidst the hopelessness, Tanjiro arrives and shouts Nezuko's name, showing her that he has successfully turned into human again. The sky clears, and they are all shocked that the sun is covered by a dark circle. That very same day, a solar eclipse happened, and Muzan laughs, believing that he is meant to be the king of the world. However, Nezuko awakens another several marks in her body, and she uses all of her remaining strength to use the Eclipse Breathing Zero form. No life. Muzan tries to use his tentacles again, but Tsunemi's special type of blood paralyzes them. That said, Nezuko successfully cuts Muzan's head, and as the sun slowly appears, it gradually burns Muzan's body. And just like that, the epic battle has come to an end. It would have been an awesome what-if had this actually happened. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Help us out with a like and subscribe. We'll see you next time in another video.